It's Thursday, January 7th. Happy New Year. It's our first video of the new year.
It is, and that's exciting. Who would think that on this Carolina day that we would have sat and watched what we did and the nation did yesterday? So concerning, so troublesome, but not saying putting that aside, but focusing on money and your accounts. We are excited about what we see the market doing.
Well, it shows the resilience of markets yesterday. I mean, first of all, it became apparent that the Senate would go Democratic and that the markets were okay with that for sure because the markets were up big yesterday. And then this morning, markets are up yet again. So what happened yesterday is not, it's almost being put in a vacuum and saying that's its own thing. The markets are going to do well.
We have talked coming up into this year and preparing for additional moves. We have been talking about a downturn, a sell-off, a drop that would give us a buying signal. We watched yesterday with horror and shame of what was going on in the Capitol. But we watched on the other screen the market as it continued to rise. We've seen futures this morning, and now the market up with Georgia being both Democrat. And I asked you a question this morning, and the question I asked you is, hey, where is the sell-off that we're looking for? And do we want to wait for the sell-off or do we want to buy? And your answer was...
well, I can be direct, as you well know.
You can, but it was thoughtful and also to the point. And I asked the question and your answer is...
So we just survived a blue wave and the Capitol being intruded upon. So markets have discounted it, so let's move forward. So we are, as we speak.
So we are, as Giv has just said, we are making some of the buys in which we said into the areas that we have identified way back in November that would do well under a Democratic House and Democratic Senate and a Democratic president. We still will have some cash on the sidelines that other opportunities could be done. And as we talked about on our radio show today, we're doing it with the belief that 2021 is going to be an up year. Now, two things within that statement. There will be a sell-off one or two times.
This happens. The only year that I can remember that it didn't happen was 2017 when the market just went up month over month. But it certainly happened last year when we saw the sell-off in March. And you can count on it happening, again, calendar-wise, twice a year. So just don't think that the sky is falling at that particular time. It's our jobs to make sure that we have you invested appropriately for all weather that is going to happen.
Second thing is that we observed and really saw last year, even though we felt we were correct and would do again with pandemic kind of scares of making adjustments. Our style is to try to avoid the big dips and the waves and to smooth things out. Is that we think this year we want to be in the market because you can see far enough this year with the stimulus, with the feds, with liquidity, with earnings. All those things are pointing that the market is the place to be. Now, there needs to be certain sectors and not some sectors, and we're doing that. But we want to then say to you, we also recognize, as we talked on our radio show less than an hour ago, that just as we all drive in our vehicles that have gauges, and those gauges tell us the health of the vehicle, the heat of the vehicle, the gas in the vehicle, the oil pressure. Gauges we will be looking at through this year will tell us signs of how to navigate, and we will be on top of looking at all those gauges.
Well, we all hope for a 2021 without the strife of 2020, even though we certainly had some yesterday. So hopefully that's going to occur, and we have a much happier 2021. And always remember, it's your money.
And your money matters. See you next week.